Welcome to the new year. We know you might have already given up on your New Year's resolution, but we haven't given up on you. Welcome to Full Disclosure.
All right. Well, this week on the Full Disclosure podcast, we're going to get an update on all things LodeStar and Settlewise. So I'll cue us up and turn us right over to Jim and Elena and say, what's new in 2026?
A lot.
Oh, yeah.
We have one exciting thing. We'll save it for the end of the segment. So you have to watch all the way to the end, obviously. But I'm letting you know there's something exciting. So you gotta keep watching.
Yep.
First things first, we're getting a new booth for ICE. So that's exciting. Getting a new layout, getting shiny new things. We're
New marketing materials. That's exciting.
It is.
Yeah. We're growing our team. We're adding a new Settlewise salesperson that we're probably actively hiring for as this posts. So
yeah,
let us know if you're interested or know someone who is.
We might be late in the process, so
We'll
figure it out.
We'll
figure it out. And I think we're gonna definitely see a lot of growth in our discovery product this year. We're definitely putting additional resources behind kind of getting that out there and making sure more people know that you can get free fees in your LOS on certain platforms. We're also taking a wait list for other platforms.
Yep. And the goal I was given personally from the team this year is to unfold our partnership division. And so if you're a LodeStar partner, potential partner, talk to me. We're trying to figure out how to make that work for everyone.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can hack the alliteration here. But what is the biggest thing that LodeStar leadership learned in 2025? And how does that inform what you guys are doing in 2026?
Oh, I got it. The answer.
You go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had a really good year. One of the changes we made going into this year, going into 2025, was the way we did goal setting. And goal setting has always been a tricky thing because when you start a business, your goal is staying in business. And that's really all you need as a goal, quite frankly, when you're really small. And then you get bigger and bigger, and then you have to have these goals. And for years, Dave and I always set goals on a 6-month cadence. And then we hit them, and then we realized our goal wasn't big enough. And then we had another goal and we hit it, and then we realized that wasn't big enough. And things kind of just grew from there. We tried different types of goal setting as a company the last few years. And then this year we implemented a quarterly goal cadence. So we moved our cadence from every 6 months to every 3 months for our goals. And as a cadence, that works pretty well. I think just given the pace of change and growth that we have right now. But the thing that as a leadership team, we didn't do, and I, as CEO, didn't do, was give an overarching company goal. So what I think that led us to do is have a lot of very operational strategic goals, which helped us because there was a lot of scaffolding and infrastructure and processes that we had to build to support our growth over the last couple of years and beyond. So that was important, but it's not kind of driving it towards a bigger, larger goal. So that is something that we have corrected. Going forwards over the next 2 years, we have a company goal that I'll share once I actually tell it to the company at the end of January. So I don't want to get too excited there, but I would say that having a overarching goal for the team that everyone can rally behind was kind of the biggest leadership mistake in 2025, and that is one that we're correcting for 2026 and 2027.
Yeah.
All right.
I think for me and my team, I think just improving communication and how I communicate. We've moved a lot of things from more of a meeting conversation to internalized. We use Monday as our kind of project management tool, Monday.com, and we've definitely seen a lot of streamlining happen as we move processes from conversations into task lists within Monday. And so I think that's something that we're going to continue to improve in 2026, especially with, I have some time out probably later this year and all of that. So trying to figure out, how to make ourselves more effective and more streamlined in how we work. Because at the end of the day, whenever you can do something with less employees and continue to grow, right, you've really protected the jobs of the people who are already on your team. So that's something that we're really mindful of. Not because of any risks or anything like that. It's just more so my holdouts for being in sales and marketing for so long, right? Sales and marketing is always the first thing that gets cut, right?
Or just makes you more flexible as a company, right? When the industry, when interest rates went from 2.7 to 7, over those years, we actually continued to grow year over year, just a little bit, but it was positive, and we kept everyone. There were no layoffs during that time. That's something I'm incredibly proud of, and able to continue that in an industry that's super cyclical. Being more efficient is really important. As my business coach just coined it, he said, "Extreme collaboration
Yes.
is the goal."
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it, because it really is. For me, it's like, we know that that downturn is coming, right? It's just a fact. Eventually, we'll hit it again.
Yeah.
So how do we build and prepare for that,
Yeah.
so we can be effective during the wins and also be effective during,
We're just very much a bust and boom industry. So
yeah.
When we've been in a weird battleground the last couple of years. So
Yeah.
Extreme Collaboration sounds like a Disney Plus like documentary about ants or something like that. I really like it. Sounds really like a good watch.
Oh, perfect. No, I'm gonna go watch a Bugs Life after this leadership lesson.
Hey, it's free oil and associations here. Elena, you hinted at this earlier, but is there anything by chance new coming down the pike for LodeStar?
Absolutely. I'm going to introduce the name, and then I'm going to make Jim describe the process and what this new feature does. So we are rolling out on Encompass for EPC users. We are rolling out a new closing clarity tool. And so, Jim, what does this tool do?
So great question. So this is an idea that came from our client, which is it reads a purchase contract and then assigns the transfer text to the right payee and guarantee that information based off the reading of the contract. So the real benefit is you're not relying on a processor, a human, to correctly read a 20-page document, find one sentence, then assign it to the right side. We found from our clients that there is about 1% to 3% of the time this gets missed, and when it does, it costs several thousands of dollars. So it happens reliably enough and has a high enough cost that it's a problem that it's pretty acute for people. Very much worth solving. It's something that we have the ability to do as the fee experts. We are leveraging AI in terms of actually reading the document, finding the language within that. But it wasn't like, hey, let's find out a way to use AI and go from there. This is a problem we have, which AI happens to be well suited to help us solve.
Absolutely. And you touched on something as well there, Jim, that I want to make sure that people noted, is you said the word guarantee. And I know something I've heard a lot about AI in mortgage spaces. People are really hesitant to put that guarantee around AI. And what does that mean for LodeStar?
Well, I remember it was actually we were having a conversation with an AI vendor, and they were talking about how they're passing information along, and it's kind of like, hey, you got the info, and you said what you want. I said, we don't want to be the asshole, right? And when it comes to fees, LodeStar is the asshole, quite frankly. Like, we are guaranteeing fees. It's literally the biggest benefit we have. It's what we do. We are guaranteeing if things are right. So, even though you might reduce the time it takes to read a document or do something else with automation, unless you actually reduce the underlying risk, it's not going to help you that much, right? So that's a big thing with AI. In the book I was talking about last month is Reshuffle about AI. And, what is the constraint in these systems? And like, in many cases, the constraint is still the risk of getting it wrong.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it takes you 5 seconds or 5 minutes to read something. If there's still a very high risk, you're not really reducing any issues, right? That's part of the reason why AI is not fully replacing radiologists, because yes, they can read an image faster, but we're still going to have a radiologist there to prescribe the correct diagnosis and treatment for a tumor, right? Like you quite trust ChatGPT to come up with a recipe for chicken piccata, but probably not to find a tumor, right? So anyways, long way of saying it is very important that the risk gets addressed, because that is the bigger underlying problem, and that's something that LodeStar is well suited to do.
Awesome. Yeah. So we'd love to talk to you about it. If you see this clip and you want to really access demo, because we're actually demoing this for the first time publicly at TMC's Desert Disruption. And then it'll also be available to be seen at ICE Experience, will be our full go live for this product. So we're very excited for that. So you'll be able to see it at both of those places in person and talk to us. But if you want an online demo, you can absolutely book it now. Our wonderful salesperson, Michael Hughes, would love to show you it and kind of talk through the tool and see if it's worth adding to your tech stack. And if you're a LodeStar client, reach out to your support at LodeStar Software Solutions or LF Software Solutions. I'm so sorry. And they'll be able to show you the product and get everything set up as well for you. Because we definitely think this is a valuable tool. And we're really excited to roll it out and also get feedback on maybe what else we can expand on with our closing clarity tool.
Yep, absolutely. It's kind of the beginning of reading that contract and giving information that affects fees, right? So we're really excited to build from here.
Thank you so much for watching Full Disclosure. Like, subscribe, hit all the buttons wherever you find this podcast. We really appreciate it.
Full disclosure, you're wonderful. When Darsh's on it, you can make it happen this year.